Anyway, while my co-caster here figures out whether or not he is in fact muted, or
Okay.
whether or not
I
I am muted.
think that might do it.
Okay.
Let me see. Hold
Well,
on.
that's all the.
Let me check on the stream. Um,
Cho'Gath, Sivir, and Gragas have been picked up. Cho'Gath obviously very, very strong right now. Gargoyle Stoneplate, very, very strong in him with War Mogs. He can go jungle or top. One really nice interaction with Cho'Gath is that because his ult is true damage, the Gargoyle Stoneplate increases his health, his ult
mhm.
scales off of health, and then he can do tons of damage. Sivir, obviously, coming back into the meta with all these tanks around, you want to be able to rush at the enemy as quickly as possible. Sivir certainly helps with that. Gragas also very, very strong. A lot of CC and a lot of tank. This Teemo pick, according to our venerable source within the team, is Thresh. So
Ah.
again, another tanky pick, another very, very strong power pick in this current meta. Lots of utility there.
Absolutely. So sorry for those of you who missed our introduction. For those of you who don't know who I am, again, I'll have to introduce myself. I am Andres Smurfo Doom Geraldo. Alongside me, the wonderful, the mysterious, the illustrious Ken Opener dude. And we were talking about the tank meta and just how strong they are. As he was saying, Cho'Gath is left unbanned, so they're definitely going to pick that up on the side of the cream team. So definitely utilizing that counter pick there on red side. So respect there, as well as the Gragas and Thresh. I'm not sure, is Singed a placeholder or no?
Yeah, Singed is that Jhin.
Okay,
So
you
we
said
do
Jin, right.
see we do see the two bot lanes have been picked up, Jhin and Thresh versus Sivir Karma. That will slightly favor the Sivir Karma, but it really could go either way depending on how good this Thresh is.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that really comes down to what it is.
We'll have to
Is there
see.
going to be a last man?
The last
Yes.
band is going to be Renekton, so definitely a lot of top lane focus. As they still have yet to pick their top laner, and that is a big, big role. No mid lane target bans, so definitely feeling comfortable on that themselves. As you can see, the side of blue team is also banning out top laners, taking away the Poppy, another big tank in there. I would expect to see a Gnar band as well if they are focusing those kind of big, heavy engaged tanks, or at least something like that. So we'll have to see. As well, it's not Gnar, but it's Garen.
I mean, that's entirely possible. That was a last minute. Oh God, what do I ban pick? But again, Garen, very straightforward tank. He gets very tanky. He'd still do a lot of damage because of the way his E and his ult work with the villain mechanic.
Right.
Do see Galio coming out, completing the trifecta of really powerful tanks in Gragas, Galio, and Cho'Gath. It's amazing that besides Maokai, excuse me, and Zac, those are the three strongest tanks in the game, and I'm surprised that all three of them managed to get through pick and ban. So
Yeah,
far.
absolutely. And there's the Gnar I was talking about. And like you were saying, on the side of red team, I'm really surprised that Cho'Gath and Galio were being able to be, you know, allowed through, like you said. And the thing is, Galio and Cho'Gath can both be flexed to two different roles. We've seen jungle Cho'Gath, we've seen top Cho'Gath, we've seen top and mid Galio. So red team has a lot of options. If they want to send the Galio versus the Brand, let it happen. And if they want to send it top, send Cho'Gath jungle and just counter Brand. So a lot of options here for red team. They've set themselves up quite nicely.
Yeah, and Galio can even be flexed into the support, especially in low elo. I'm not particularly familiar with the levels of these teams. From what I saw, it looked to be mid gold, so Galio support still would be able to be used. That is going to be a Soraka support.
So it does look like it's going to be a Karma mid, Galio top, and Cho'Gath jungle. As we are going to get back here into the lobby, unfortunately, as we wait for the placeholders to come back, as about 3 people left. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
The Dark Lord stole it.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our pick and ban phase of this wonderful best of two. Again, my name is Andres Smurfo Doom Geraldo. Alongside me is the wonderful, illustrious, mysterious, and carnivorous Can Opener Dude. Can Opener Dude, how are you feeling about this now that we're in our second champion select?
Well, we had a bit of a controversy while we were in between there trying to figure out exactly what was going on. Apparently, the Braum ban was a misclick, but that's not really something we can account for because it wasn't a countdown ban. We were not advised of that until after the entire team comps were set. Nothing we can really do about that. We're going to proceed as if the Braum ban was intentional.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
the team comps are set, and we're going to see how these, how they actually figure out.
Right. And you... So what was the Braum pick supposed to be? Or ban?
Brand.
Was it
They-
supposed to be
they were
Brand?
suppo-
Okay.
It was supposed to be Brand, and that's why they were upset that Brand was picked there. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is indeed. So Brand is going to be put through. So that is unfortunate for the red side. Definitely wanted to take that away for themselves. As I guess Yasuo was supposed to... Or I guess Karma last time was supposed to be Yasuo. Or we'll have to see which placeholders were actually which. We know as much as you do, so we'll have to see. As Yasuo does fairly well into Brand, has a lot of escapes and dashes to dodge most of his skill shots, as Brand has 2 major skill shots and 2 point and clicks. However,
Wait, hold on a second.
what?
Wasn't that Karma mid lane last time?
Right. I think it was a placeholder, is what I said.
But the same person picked it. Let me see if I can figure out what's
Thinking
going on.
emoji. That's interesting.
Placeholder. Let's see if we can figure out what these teams are actually trying to accomplish here, because
It might have been one of those things that you said last time when they banned Garen. It might have been an accidental lock-in on Karma, and then they were quickly able to say, "Oh, just kidding, it's a Yasuo," because we didn't know what we wanted to play. So, I'm not sure exactly.
unless the Soraka
It could have
was
been
a placeholder
right.
for Yasuo,
I think
and
Soraka might have been.
Karma support.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out what's gonna happen.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
it was Soraka that was the placeholder.
Right. So it is going to be Karma. So a lot of kill pressure on the side of blue team for sure. In terms of the bottom lane, Jin Thresh always doing extremely well, landing those hooks onto squishy targets like a Karma. I would like him to take the Ignite, mainly because if a Cho'Gath is running towards you with Righteous Glory, it doesn't matter if you exhaust him because he's going to do true damage. The only people you can really exhaust are Yasuo and Sivir. And Ignite in lane, personally, I would just rather see that instead. Just to have that extra kill pressure and get that lead for them.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, really, there's not any particular reason to take the exhaust into a lane like this. I can't even tell if Karma has exhaust, but from what I can see, she does.
I think she does. It's like a little brown. I don't think she would take barrier, so I'd hope to assume that's exhaust.
It could be the old icon for Revive, like the old season 1 icon for Revive.
Who knows? I guess it's one of those tournaments. It's on patch.
Rollback tournaments.
It's actually on patch 1.5. Little did you know.
Yeah. 1.0.0.5.
with all these new champions and the reworked Galio and everything. Yeah, no, absolutely.
All
right.
So, in all seriousness, I am going to want to focus on this mid lane and bot lane matchups here, because Yasuo and Brand in particular is going to be a rather aggressive lane, because both of these champions need some sort of kick to get them past their early game, because while both these champions snowball relatively well, they can't snowball off of just farming, or at least Yasuo can. Brand kind of can, but I'd still like to see a bit of a kick in this lane to see just who can get ahead. Maybe a bit of roaming depending on these team comps, because there is quite a lot of knockup on the Cho'Gath and Galio for Yasuo to take advantage of. Especially with that Hero's Entrance on Galio, that'd be a lot of fun. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then specifically in the 2v2 in this bot lane, I'm really interested to see how the Jin Thresh matches up against the Karma Sivir, because I'm tentatively giving it to the Sivir Karma as far as lane pressure goes, but it really all comes down to, at this level of play, who plays the champions better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Tentatively given to Sivir Karma in the bot lane, but it really could go either way, and that's why I want to watch this matchup.
Yeah, and I do have to talk a little bit about the top lane matchup as well, Gnar into Galio. Today, if anyone watched LCS, you could see Cloud9 versus Envy. Impact had a tremendous Gnar game against Seraph's Galio, and he just absolutely obliterated him. The ranged matchup for Galio was really, really something of a struggle if that person is not an AP caster. And that's why you see more Galio mid than anything. So it should be interesting, especially if Gnar takes Fervor. We'll be able to get those Fervor stacks and deal a lot of damage here towards Galio. Unfortunately, we are about to get into the loading screen, so as the spectator delay dwindles down, we will get right back to you when we get into the game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this wonderful best of two against Team What versus the Cream Team. My name is Andres Smurfo Doom Geraldo. Alongside me today is going to be Can Opener Dude. Can Opener Dude, how are you feeling as we get onto this rift?
Well, I'm doing pretty okay, but before we were rudely interrupted by the beginning of the game, I did want to point out here, we talked about the top matchup and its relation to the Cloud9 Envy game today. However, one thing I want to point out is that when you have a top laner who can't position his way through the front door of a cathedral like Seraph, it kind of skews the matchup. So, when playing two, and, you know, people of two equal skill levels might have a different experience than, you know, and a functional rock going up against the living god that is Impact. So we'll have to see how this goes, but I do agree that Gnar does have the advantage over Galio, being both ranged and physical damage as opposed to magic damage and melee. So yes, I do give it to you, but more for the not because Seraph lost to Impact. Because
well, that was just an example of what it could happen. Okay, that was just an example of what the worst could happen. Okay,
the worst could happen is Seraph still existing in the LCS.
Oh man, just taking so many shots. They made playoffs. I mean, at least they did that.
But every time I see Envy, I get irrationally angry because there's
here we go though.
No reason that Apollo
bot lane might just get caught here.
Yes.
Androl is going to get the flay onto Jaful. Jaful taking a lot of damage from Don't Die in Vain. Jaful's taking a lot. The fourth shot is actually going to come in. No heal comes out. First blood already going over to Team What. And wow, just a huge misplay as Armor actually steps too far forward. The flay is going to land. Here comes the exhaust. Fourth shot is going to be healed out. Might just flash over the wall. No, they don't. They take both summoners and a huge advantage for Team What.
Yeah, just as soon as I saw that, fourth shot being primed, I'm like, that is one dead karma there. Really, the reason Armor did not use heal there, generally speaking, I mean, obviously, it might have been because Asin is going ham in the top lane. No, it might have been because of the, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Damage? Ability to chase? I'm not entirely sure.
Because they were chasing up lane, Flay would have been back up anyway. It was a dead karma either way.
Right.
However, that does mean that Armor did get out alive because Armor was able to use the heal and flash to save himself.
Right.
And therefore not miss the minions, which is the more important part of this lane, especially since the support has already died. But that was an excellently played death bush there by Don't Die in Vain.
Yeah, a wonderful call. Absolutely. Yeah, like you were saying, if they did tend to chase up the river, the best case scenario, Karma flashes, Sivir heals, and then they turn on to Sivir, getting her flash as well without expending any summoner spells of their own. So it would either be a kill or all summoner spells gone, and either way they lose lane. So right, either way it's a loss, but we can't really be entirely certain which would have been the best case scenario because we can't really know how it would have turned out, but we can only speculate.
Now, one thing I want to point out here is that neither of these supports went Ancient Coin. Taking Relic Shield is, you know, the pro choice on Thresh. But that's assuming that you can actually last hit the minions with Thresh because you can't get the execute damage off because he is considered ranged.
Right.
However, Ancient Coin does give you a massive gold advantage, and if they knew they were, like, exactly what just happened there. No offense to neutral, but it is very, very difficult to get those last hits as fresh in the early levels.
Right.
But
And the reason you do see that sometimes is instead of going for the ancient coin, if you are in a Sivir Karma lane, which is a poke lane, which should, outright win this if that first blood didn't happen, you would take Relic Shield for some of the sustain. A little bit, you get, some of the health back. And as we're seeing, Nundrel is going to throw out the Lantern. Gragas is here, but just going to use a quick E and get away from that one. Safe and sound is back in the mid lane, Sir Potato and Summoner Shen. And are just going to be trading back and forth, and it's pretty quiet so far on the Western Front here, as both teams are just consent to go and farm their lanes. So we'll see how this plays out. I do want to talk about the top lane a little bit, though, as Gnar isn't bullying Asian as much as he should be. Do you agree with that, or?
well, bot lane disagrees. Let's see what they're doing.
It's just going to be a quick trade. A lot of damage onto the Karma, taking that fourth shot to the face, and Jaful is acting like a fool, taking way too much poke damage.
One thing to point out here about this top lane is, again, it's all about... Okay, Karma. That was an interesting cue. It's all about the pressure game right now, and what Ashin here is doing is playing rather aggressive, considering he's in a lane where he should be getting aggressed upon. And one thing to know when you're in a pause is that's actually cool. You can see like oh wait, he was
the bullet. Yeah, that's what I was.
He may have been lagging.
I think he was lagging, as you could see when he was standing there, just taking the Winds of War from Asian there. I think may have just been a little bit of lagging. So hopefully his horrendous early game pre 6 minutes was due to the fact that he was lagging. But
one other thing to bear in mind is that at low elo there is a concept of fake it until you make it, and in that sense, if you're say Galio in this matchup and you're not particularly sure that your opponent is proficient at their Gnar, if you haven't seen him play 300 or 400 hours on this Gnar, then one thing you can try to do is just pretend that you actually are in the dominant part of the lane and just play as up as possible. And assuming the jungler doesn't come in on you, you may actually be able to create a bit of pressure where you would not have some if you had played the lane as per normal.
Right, absolutely, but that's a mind game that
to lag though.
that's a mind game that I am not familiar with at all.
You're not low elo.
Exactly.
So. Goddammit.
Well, something like that. As we can see in the bot lane, the 10 CS lead, or just about, is growing for the side of Team What for Don't Die in Vain versus Armor. It's just going to be harder and harder as Jhin scales tremendously well into the late game, especially going that most likely lethality build, which is a good tank shredder, as always against the Galio and Cho'Gath. But if Cho'Gath can get ahead, as well as the Galio, that might be their win condition to, obviously just Righteous Glory and nom 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 all over the the Jhin.
Yeah, one thing to point out here is that with this Sivir this far behind, she basically does become an ult bot until she can get some items under her belt. So it does rely on Oracle.
Here we go. Oracle is up in the top lane. The Q Rupture is actually going to be flashed away from, but here we go. Is going to be taunted up, and Gnar straight back into the turret. Oracle taking so much damage, is going to have to flash away. A nice job by HiHan to get at least a 1-for-1 summoner spell.
Yeah, overall, that gank does favor the red side, though. It gives Asian some time to farm up, free farm, push this wave into the tower, and deny Gnar some of the farm. Jan will have to teleport to make sure he doesn't lose any of this. That means Asian that can then feel free to roam and not necessarily have to use his teleport to get back in the lane. Plus, a jungler's flash for a top laner's flash is usually going to be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is here. Oh, they're actually going to go on to Sir Potato. He's going to flash away as well as use the exhaust down. Just 2 ultis. He burned on the side of the Cream team for 1 flash. But here we go. Oracle is going to be caught here. Silence comes out. Flay, where is it? Is going to hit on Summoner Shen. Rupture is only going to hit 1. But here comes the Brand ulti. The Pyroclasm is going to bounce, but he misses the Q. The 4th shot is not there. Deadly Flourish missed, but the flash auto from a Nundrel is going to be able to pick him up. And now Jaful is in a bad spot. Is going to flash away from the hook. And a 1-for-0 at the end of the day for blue team.
Unusual doing an excellent job on this Thresh here. That Fly a little bit late because of the silence. Cho'Gath's silence is now once again the longest silence in the game after being nerfed to Fiddle's, or changes rather to Fiddle's E. So,
uh-oh, Armor here is going to be caught in between three people. The Fat Man is going to body slam, but is this going to be a nice spell shield? But now you can't spell shield the hook. The hook and the flay are going to land. Is it enough? The explosive cast doesn't matter. Anundrel takes his second kill of the game.
like I was just saying, is every Thresh in Learning 5 just a god? Because 9 times out of 10, even myself...
Oh, Clockot is going to go in. Jafool is going to get hooked again. Here comes the curtain call. 1, 2, Jafool, goodbye. And another kill for Team What? And I have to agree with their team name. What is going on?
What are you doing? You're so powerful.
Something like that.
Oh, man. I want to point out again that Sir Potato has started to eke out a slight gold lead in this mid lane after being dead even. He is now about 175 gold up over Summoner Shen. It's not much, but it is going to allow him to start scaling.
Oh my goodness, another hook lands. Deadly Flourish as well as the flay is going to come back in. Fourth shot, is it there? Nope, they're just going to back off. But yeah, I have to agree is you don't typically see Yasuo losing these as Armor eats a huge fourth shot to the face. Yeah, like you were saying, Yasuo tends to do extremely well into AP casters, or excuse me, AP control mages. You know, control mages or mages in general do not do too well into AD casters. But here we go. The Rupture is going to land. Here comes the Yasuo ult. It's going to do all the damage necessary. Pyroclasm doesn't mean anything. The passive doesn't do enough damage, and Oracle is going to get himself a kill.
A bit of an overextend considering there was no vision on that top side for Team What. Does secure that first kill for Team Cream. They're going to need a bit more than that to come back into this game, though.
But like I said earlier, Cho'Gath is definitely one of their stronger win conditions because even if he is put behind, right? If he can get to the late game and get tanky enough, all he has to do is run at somebody. But here we go up in the top lane. HiEdgeJan is going to be taunted up here. Summoner Shen does not have the last breath available. HiEdgeJan is going to find a nice 2-man stun. He's going to be knocked up there, but it's not going to be enough. Let's go back into the bot lane, clear some wards. About 11 minutes in, 4-1 in kills.
Bot lane.
Here we go. HiEdgeJan is actually going to get flash taunted on. Good night. Summoner Shen is going to claim a kill. HiEdgeJan either shopping or not caring or something.
He was looking bot for the possible, or to see what the play was going down there because 3 of his teammates were trying to orchestrate a gank. Did not come of anything there.
Oh, but here we go. Sir Potato is actually going to stun up. That's Sheehan. That's going to be the end of that. Is trying to get first blood turret here to try and get themselves back into the game. Only down about 1,000, not even, just about 900. Very, very close. But for considering the early game they had, the Cream team is not doing as horrible as other teams would, I suppose you could say, but are finding ways to come back into this game. Some nice kills top and mid being found. They do know that they can come back with slight advantages, so you just have to see how it continues to play out here.
Now, one thing to point out is that the only lane with a farm advantage is that top lane for Team Green. Galio actually has over about 10, 12 farm ahead of the Gnar at this moment. That's pretty significant considering that the lane should have gone in favor of the Gnar there.
Absolutely. Crockbot or Clock-a-lot is just in his smite there, but it doesn't really matter as they Team What finds himself a Windrake. He's going to be able to fly around the map a little cleaner. As you should see. Yeah, like you were talking about, the only CS advantage that they have found for themselves is the Galio matchup, which is the one we talked about where Gnar should be, you know, in retrospect, winning with all right.
That was our one sure assessment is that the Gnar was going to be ahead here because
and the other lanes would lose.
Brand being a caster, yes, Yasuo does do very well against mages and casters in particular, but Brand is often known as the bully caster. He has the ability to be a very strong lane bully when given the chance.
Oh, hook on Nakama is going to land. Deadly Flourish is not there. Just going to back off here as Oracle might just find a blue buff for himself as, Sir Potato is going to come over. He's just going to nom that. But here comes Hyatt. It's Jan. Might use the Blast Cone. He does. The Q does not land from Brand, unfortunately, as that's not going to find themselves a kill. But they do get a flash. Flash for blue buff. Not sure how worth it is, especially for somebody as immobile as Cho'Gath. So he's going to have to farm up and play safe in his own jungle for a while.
Yeah, that's the one thing that especially the LCS casters has hit upon with this Cho'Gath pick becoming very strong is that his one really weak part is his lack of mobility. If someone gets onto you and you have no recourse, you can't tank through them, your team isn't coming to back you up, you're pretty much gone. Because even if you have tons and tons and tons of health, if you can't get away from them, they're just going to keep blinking at you until you die.
Oh, absolutely. And here it might happen again. Oracle is without a flash, is going to be stunned up. Here comes the body slam. Flay is there. Windwall doesn't really do anything, and there Clockleclot is going to slam him down. Asian actually completed the TP. Here comes a 3-man taunt in. One knockup onto Anundrel. Isn't going to go. Last breath. Where is it? No. Here comes Hyatt's Gen. Narbar is close to popping. Here he goes. Is going to transform very soon. But Asian actually takes him down with the Mantra Q from Karma. And they chased a little bit too much, not respecting the turnaround damage. Hyatt's Gen is still Mega Gnar. Doesn't have flash available just yet. It's just getting off cooldown, actually. You can kind of see it. Just
that would have been an amazing turnaround, but the team
now
is
it's
already
back.
pretty low and low on mana in particular for Don't Die in Vain. But that would have been an excellent turnaround there. That Flash Gnarl onto both Summoner Shen and Armor, especially with Armor having no mana and no spell shield at that moment due to CD. Would have definitely secured at least one kill had the rest of the team been able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, if Don't Die in Vain had mana there, you would have liked to see the curtain call being opened, and that would have been an easy chase for the Gnar and the rest of the team. So a little unfortunate there, but the Cream team actually did, like you said, get a return kill for how poorly the fight did start. So it wasn't completely horrible. It did go to Asian. He has gone for the Rod of Ages build, actually, which is something I am very, very not a fan of. Galio does not do well with AP. He's solely a tank. If you were going to go Catalyst, I would have liked you on Abyssal Mask for the Cho'Gath and for the Karma. It wouldn't be horrible, but it's not the best. So, a little... not the biggest fan of that build. There are a couple of builds I'm not too big a fan of here, but I'll just touch on that.
My assumption is that considering Galio, and specifically Ashin's Galio in this game, is currently the only one with a significant farm lead in any of these lanes. The only one that's really been consistently winning his lane. Perhaps he's looking to snowball as much as possible to try and help his team out. Maybe next he's going to be going for, well, I guess I was about to say Abyssal Scepter, but that doesn't exist anymore. Never mind.
Yeah, no, it does not, unfortunately. Abyssal Mask is what Abyssal Scepter used to be, and what it is now. Is like you said, though, he might have to be the carry for the team. But if you look at the side of the Cream team, they don't have any real magic damage, but I'm going to have to be stopped short here as Armor is actually going to Spell Shield the Flay, and the Box and the Hook and the Deadly Flourish are all going to miss. Spell Shield and Flash are going to keep him alive, but now he has no Summoner spells.
Oh, he has a heal.
Well,
that's a Summoner spell, right?
That's a Summoner spell, but yeah.
That's kind of a Summoner spell.
That's a little bit. Yeah, there's no Flash is what I meant to say. It's a little accidental wordage there, but it doesn't matter. As Anundrel is heal enough to save him. Let's see. Jaful might just get hooked, but the side hook, the Snake Eyes, is actually going to land onto Armor. Is going to spell shield the Flay, but here comes Don't Die in Vain. Actually gets rooted, but now Jaful is going to be exactly that, acting the fool again to save his ADC, and now Summoner Shen is going to get engaged upon. No, it's just going to be a nice little Q, tag him and say hello.
Hold on a second. That E animation went off, but it didn't actually apply the E.
Well, because he went back, he went back into Fog of War. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it didn't complete.
That's heartbreaker right there. That would have been a very nice stunning. That would have almost half health Shen at this point with the items that Sir Potato has.
Most likely. Speaking of his items, so there are a couple of items I want to talk about. Oh, I can't talk about them though, because Clock-a-Lot is going to be engaged upon. He's going to take the lantern to safety and actually going to go to this turret here as they get first blood turret for Don't Die in Vain. But yeah, like I was saying, a couple of these builds, I don't know why you decide to build Rylai's as Brand versus a Yasuo instead of a Zhonya's first, but or at least the
Because he's
Seeker's
not
Arm
attacking
Guard.
you. I mean,
That's fair enough, but Clock-a-Lot is actually going to explosive cast into the flay. Actually sends him backwards again, just bounced around like a ragdoll as Sheehan is here. But here comes the last breath, and here comes the hero's entrance as well. A two-man knockup. Anundral is taking so much damage. Summoner Shen is going to be flayed away. Anundral is going to be flash pounded upon his armor, taking a whole lot of damage from the Pyroclasm and passive from Sir Potato, but it's just going to be 1-for-0.
yeah, Sir Potato getting zoned out there was a bit of a problem. This could be good for them here, though, if they play it correctly.
Sheehan is going far forward. Summoner Shen is not going to get hit by the Deadly Flourish, just barely. This Don't Die in Vain is doing hell of damage with that IE build.
Yeah, he's not going to lethality. He's going standard. He's going to be going into I would say a rapid fire next. Like obviously
Most
you want to
likely.
get double zeal items at and most ADCs will start with the static shiv after going IE, but Jin, he works so much better with rapid fire first, but he'll most likely go he'll most likely build into the static shiv after that, unless he wants to go double zeal with the Phantom Dancer, which would help, but I mean he hasn't really been taking that much damage as it is. He's been standing pretty far back. His positioning's been very good this game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you. As well as Sir Potato, like you said, you don't really need to build the Seeker's Arm Guard when you're not taking too much harass from the Yasuo. You could kind of build what you want. It's a fine adaptation. I would like to see, obviously, a Leandries come out of him sooner or later. Not just for the extra burn, but as well as the raw magic pen it has, especially since he went Sork Shoes. Some brands go Ionian Boots. So since he already does have that magic pen, I'd like to see a little more with the Leandries and Void Staff later as well. So 20 minutes into the game, 6-4 in kills. Gold almost even, just about 300 gold difference, 1 turret to 1. But an Ocean Drake and a Cloud Drake in favor of Team What. Now we're just going to see as the ARAM starts to happen here as Team What is grouping, trying to get this mid-outer turret here as no longer have minions. The Sivir Yasuo is great wave clear. Oracle is actually going to be stunned up, doing a lot of percentage health damage with the Brand passive. Is going to get the Rupture, but it doesn't matter. Don't Die in Vain claims another kill, and Oracle, huge misplay there without any of your summoner spells.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about here, is that Cho can be caught out so very easily. He did start with a Righteous Glory as well as his first item. I can't say I agree with that, because while it does give you relevant stats and is a fairly good item, you're really far behind, Oracle. Like, you need to get yourself a stone plate ASAP.
What I would have actually liked to
with
seen
stacks.
is him getting the Randuins, because Jin is most likely going to be the one that's hitting him the most. At least if he can, if that is his priority to get onto the Jin and to nom him, he needs to get a Randuins instead of a Righteous, right? Because the crit damage that's reduced from it, as well as the attack speed slow, is just so tremendous. So if you have that against the Jin early, it really mitigates a lot of his early advantage.
A little known fact is that Randuins will also reduce what is called critical magic damage.
Right.
I do not believe anyone on Team What has any. Brand may off of his passive.
He does not. But
sure.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think Rise has it. I know for a fact Anivia does, and a few other ones like that.
After the when chilled.
when chilled. Yes, indeed.
I do believe Sejuani would have it when she procs the Sejuani has it on her when she procs the ease stun and then hits someone after that.
Right, I think
that
that
does
is
do magic damage, that does count, but if it does physical damage, then it doesn't.
I believe it is magic. His
Holy
armor
crap!
actually gonna flash away just barely, but the explosive cask is gonna explode his face off. Pyroclasm is actually gonna be Windwell. Jaful, are you gonna live? No, the body slam flash, a double kill for Clock-a-Lot, and here comes the hero's entrance, is gonna just barely miss out of the dark passage, but here comes the taunt Arna Hayat Jan. and a Nundrol. That's going to be all she wrote, as a Sheehan is going to be able to dash away, as there were so many pings in that fight. I don't know why you pinged instead of played, but why not?
I
The epitome of low elo. When it's time to team fight, just ping instead, really.
Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to think of like a joke about lag, but I couldn't think of anything, and I just decided to do an idiot laugh instead. But anyway, they're gonna rotate up to this top lane. They're gonna pick up this tower relatively free of charge. That's the phrase that's the phrase we're gonna use. Free of charge.
The Sheehan is actually going to have to say something about it with the Winds of War. He does have a lot of damage, and like you were saying, he is actually building towards that Abyssal Mask, so Caster Curse there, he is building it, but I am not a fan of that, mainly due to the fact that Cho'Gath, yes, his Rupture and Silence do magic damage, as well as his E when he procs it, but, I mean, his ult is true damage, and that's really what you want. I believe it does some magic damage. I could be wrong. Let me see here as I can click on Cho. Yeah, it does. It does. What's that?
What ability does
his ultimate?
Cho'Gath's ultimate does not do magic damage. It does full true damage.
Full true damage.
Galio's ultimate does do magic damage.
Yes. But I was saying is, since it does not, which is what I thought, and that's what I had to verify. Since it does not do magic damage, it's not really worth it, given the fact that Cho'Gath is the only other AP source other than Karma, and Karma's not going to be really spam queuing Mantra Q. She's going to be spamming Mantra R if she's any decent, or Mantra R, Mantra E. Mantra is her R. Sorry about that. A little slide of tongue there, but she's going to be spamming Mantra E instead, and won't be doing that magic damage. So the only thing he's providing for them with that item is, you know, an advantage for himself, and even then it isn't that much of an advantage, because you're not going to be able to, as an AP Galio, which is half tank half AP, to break through a Gnar or a Gragas, and you're not going to have enough to burst through a squishy like a Brand or a Jhin. So we get into a pause here to see what the issue is.
I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but in any case, what I want to point out here is that Gragas, Clockalot here, has managed to pick up a stone plate before Cho'Gath has. That makes me sad.
I mean, some Cho'Gaths like to have a little health before the stone plate, because, I mean, the stone plate, it does
multiplicative.
Right. If you get CC'd enough and you don't have time to press stone plate and then nom, it's better to just straight up nom. So if you do have that extra health, it's not bad. Righteous Glory is really good for his team as well, especially with the Sivir speed up. So it's double speed and it's a lot of health as well. So he will be able to get those resistances. Since he does have double health, the Gargoyle Stone Plate gives armor and MR. So it's not the worst build, but like you said, I don't like seeing it when behind. I'd rather see something a little more defensive.
Yeah, I'm just totally on a stone plate kick, because I've loved that item since it was introduced, and now that it actually is fairly decent, that's exactly what he wanted to do. Well, yeah, that is exactly what he wanted to do, but it was just kind of funny that Summoner Shen's just like, should I do this?
Yeah, Summoner Shen has been really, really scared of Brand. Let's see, armor missing a spell shield on the Jhin trap, but Deadly Flourish is actually going to land. I'm not going to chase, but yeah, Summoner Shen has actually been playing very, very afraid against something like a Brand. He's 0-1 and 5, so has a lot of assists, but you're Yasuo. The later the game goes, the better and stronger you are, especially against somebody as immobile as Sir Potato on Brand.
Yeah, one thing to mention though is that he is playing so incredibly safe, but he hasn't built in a Hex Drinker. Built-in. That is a word now. He hasn't built a Hex Drinker. He does have, of course, the Phantom Dancer, but that's just core Yasuo stuff. That's not.
Oh, here we go.
Particular reaction.
Flash in is actually going to come in from a Nundrol as well as Sir Potato. Are going to miss everything, actually. The Blast Cone isn't enough possibly to save him, but no, here comes the Curtain Call, as well as Hyatt's Jan is going to get the slow and the speed up for himself. Summoner Shen is in a bad spot. the knock-up is actually going to slow him in his tracks for a little bit. Highest Gen is going to flash, miss the tower! Summoner Shen, is he going to be able to actually survive this? But down in the river, the team, the Cream team was able to take the dragon away from Team What, and it is an Infernal. Summoner Shen actually only blowing his flash and getting about 3 in return.
Yeah, that hit on the blast cone there was a bit of a heartbreaker.
Here we go, though. Hook onto a
This could be
Cian. The
bad
box is
or
going to come
good.
in. Oracle is taking a lot of damage. The explosive cast is going to be spell shielded. Clockalot is taking so much damage. Here comes the Cian again. Armor is actually finally turning on. No, here comes the hook. But here comes Summoner Shen in the backline. No one is dead yet. There it goes. Oracle is down. Clockalot goes down as well. 2 big shutdowns. A Cian finally turns on. Don't Die in Vain is just barely alive. But right now, it's a 1 for 3 in favor of the Cream team.
Now, Sir Potato wasn't able to do a whole lot in that fight. His ultimate was spell shielded after only 2 bounces, so it did fizzle out the first time it hit armor, which was actually very, very helpful for his team. If that had continued to bounce, that would have spelled disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you
Very,
said, that
very
team
well
was
played by the Cream team.
that was so close. As the team, the Cream team was so far behind, and I'm getting mom aggro. I will be right back.
He's getting mom aggro, which means now you guys are stuck with me, Summoner Shen, hanging out around Don't Die in Vain. Don't Die in Vain does not want to fight this. Shen could realistically pretty much burst him down to 0 before Vayne could really do much here. All that being
Okay.
said,
Sorry about that. My mom decided
my
to
co-caster is back.
troll me while I was casting and just endlessly knock on my door until I came to answer for whatever reason. You know, foreign moms, what are you going to do? So now, 28 minutes into the game, almost hitting the 30-minute mark, 10-7 in favor of kills on Team What, and about, and get another pause, about a 1k gold lead as well. Up 1 turret. Even though they just lost that team fight, it's still in favor, the gold, kill, and turret lead in favor of Team What. So we'll have to see if they are going to be able to extend that lead in any way possible and continue to try and win this game slowly but surely.
All right. Apparently, there's some dogs barking and a war going on in the team chat of Team Cream. So hopefully, no one's playing in a war zone. That would be unfortunate. We would hate to see the game interrupted on account of something as small as an intercontinental conflict.
As small as one. Right,
Yeah.
very, very small.
One thing I want to point out while this pause is going on is that Vayne actually did go for the static shift first, and now just managed to finish
Right.
the rapid fire cannon. So he was determined to prove me wrong and get that wave clear, which is utterly useless on Jin. But now he's got both of those items. He will be going next for. Oh, geez, I would hope at this point for maybe like a
Lord
I would go
Dom's.
for a QSS.
Really?
I would go for a QSS because that Galio is doing work.
Right.
But
But he was able to dodge him in the last team fight, so
that's true.
he did manage. Like you said, the name of the game has been Don't Die in Vain's positioning has been tremendous for a Gold 5 player, and it's not. I mean, I could see why you would want it. If he really feels like Galio might get on him into a later team fight, then obviously go for it. But I'd say most likely what he would go for is the Lord Doms, just to try and at least somewhat do a little damage to the tankiness that is Cho'Gath, as well as Galio, because he is going most likely for a Randuin's, could be going for a Frozen Heart, but I really doubt that that's what the Warden's Mail is going to turn into.
Yeah,
So-
I just love it's like we gotta pick up some armor pen. Gotta get through these tanks that have a total of 30 armor in items.
Well, obviously they're going to be a
a
little bit tankier. He could just keep going for raw damage, but which is what you do when they don't have armor, obviously. But you would like to assume that they're going to build armor. As you can see, he is building Randuin's, and he is going to be finishing the Gargoyle Stoneplate on Cho'Gath, and most likely going to be another Randuin's. I would imagine, I would hope, I would pray. It's Jafool. What are you doing? You are being exactly that, a fool. Is going to be flashed on. Explosive Cask misses completely, and Hero's entrance is in a weird spot as Jafool is able to flash out, and Gragas, Clock-a-Lot, is going to be able to just save his enemy there.
I've gone through this. I gotta put my foot down. We've made the Jafool throw joke 3 times. We need to move on. let's find another clever pun here. Oracle seems to have some trouble predicting where this game is going to go. So, he needs to, I don't know, do something Oracle related. Don't die in vain hasn't died at all. So he hasn't died
So
in vain
he has
yet.
not died in vain. He might die in Jin, though, so...
Yeah, that's, yeah. Look, it was better than Jafool, okay?
Alright, it's 30 minutes into the game. Not much has happened. As Cian is actually going to be found here. Taunt is not going to find anyone as they don't really want to engage. As Pillar of Flame onto one minion is going to miss because, you know, why not use a 100 mana spell for one minion instead of autoing?
Oh, yeah.
Secured. Not really, because you missed. But anyway,
Well, he's got 900 mana.
the what is going to be able to go into the Cream Team's jungle here as Anundrel is not going to actually go for the hook onto Summoner Shen. Interestingly enough, is don't die in vain. There's a huge rapid fire crit. His hook is not going to land. Oracle is most likely just going to be able to nom it, and he does.
This would actually be a very bad engage for Team What here if they did go in on it. Asim does not have his ult up right now, but Team Cream still has the much better team fight in the jungle, assuming that Sir Potato is not there. And Sir Potato was top lane on the map, being able to be seen there.
As well as Hyatt's Jan.
Try to take that fight.
Right, and they had full knowledge as well as they were in minion Fog of War, so they did know. As the Cian might just get face checked here. Nope. But yeah, Hyatt's Jan and Sir Potato actually do have tremendous corridor team fightings with the Meganar and the Pyroclasm, if it's not spell shielded or Windwalled. So there are many micro managing things that you have to be wary of. It's Sivir and Yasuo's job to make sure that Pyroclasm and Brand does not do anything in the fight. And it's really hard as well, because once you Sivir's spell shield, a Gragas body slam, a hook, or something else, you're exposed and vulnerable to other CC abilities and other huge AoE spells. So
I am liking Sir Potato's control of the plants in this game. That's the 3rd or 4th time that he's cut off a blast cone on a retreat, denying it from the enemy team.
Right.
Which, you know, it's a minor thing, but it is, you know, it's a group of minor things
Hook on the
together.
Summoner Shield. Here we go. The body slam is going to come in. Oracle is going straight for the back line. The Nom isn't actually going to be able to take him down. Jafool is in the front line, taking so much damage. Is not going to go down yet. There's no one died. But here comes Hyatt's Jan. Gets a 3-man Meganar into the wall. But here comes the Hero's entrance as well. Last Breath takes down Anundrel. Finally on a killing spree. Here he goes. Hyatt's Jan is going to go down as well. A double kill for Summoner Shen. And now all of Blue team is on retreat. Summoner Shen going too far forward. The body slam and 4th shot. Just kidding. It's a 3rd shot. Is going to connect. Asian is here with the blast cone. Has full health and is ready to rumble. Here we go. The taunt flash is not there as Oracle and Armor were not there. But a 2 for 2 at the end of the day.
Woo. That was fun.
It was.
Anyway.
And you didn't even guess it.
Yeah, that was the fun part. And in any case, very, very good team fight from both teams there. One thing to note is that Asin's ult desperately needs to be timed by Team What in this kind of matchup, because he is the game changer. I mean, look at Hyatt's Jan. He came in, got an amazing Gnar ult there, but then immediately Asin was on top of that, on top and in with the Hero's entrance, and that completely turned the fight around.
Anundrel is going to look for the hook on Oracle. Oracle actually stops moving to try and dodge it. That's not how you dodge a Thresh hook, but sure, why not? He's going to go back in for the Rupture. Not going to find anything, as both teams are just trying to contest for this Ocean Dragon.
Yeah. Ocean Dragon, that's a good one. Blue team already has one of those. Having a second one would certainly help them out.
Oh,
Red
here we
Moon's
go.
open has to
Armor
be-
is going to be able to spell shield the explosive cast, but it doesn't matter because the deadly flourish is going to land, and here comes the ensuing team fight. Both TPs are channeled. Oracle takes a huge fourth shot to the face. Sir Potato has Pyroclasm available, is going to look for it. Here comes Hyatt's Jan, is just going to be able to stun them. Doesn't use the Pyroclasm. Hyatt's Jan takes it down. Summoner Shen suicides into the Ocean Drake pit for no reason, and now Team What is poised to take this Baron, as it is now a 5v2 with their jungler down, but they don't realize what objectives are. Nope, just kidding. There are the pings.
Well,
A lot of them.
bear in mind, again, bear in mind that, this is learning fives. The point is to learn what objectives are.
True.
So, they're getting there.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, they are learning. Here we go, Mantra Q. Is it going to be enough? Nope. Hyatt's Jan somehow takes that without Clockolot even smiting it. A little bit of risky there, as Jaful might have been able to steal the Baron. Interesting.
The second half of a Mantra Cube picking up the Baron would have been
What?
the most humiliating thing.
It wouldn't have been good, that's for sure. They would have been able to get a huge advantage for themselves. So, 35 minutes into the game, Armor is going to pick up a blue buff for himself as Yasuo. Doesn't use mana, so he doesn't need it. 15-9 in kills in favor of Team What, as well as 4 turrets to 2 only. About 4,000 gold lead. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. For Team What. So now with the Baron, hopefully are poised to take this game, and it doesn't matter because we're paused, so there is no game to take.
All right, I'm not entirely sure why 2 of the team members are in the Twitch chat, but you guys should be playing the game.
Are they really? Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wait,
I believe it's
yeah, I think Yasuo.
Yeah, it's Summoner Shen and I believe Don't Die in Vain that are going at each other.
Well, clearly
So,
Don't Die in
calm
Vain.
down, guys.
If anyone's allowed to be in Twitch chat, it is definitely Don't Die in Vain. He is doing extremely well in this game for himself. 7-0 and 8 on the Jhin. Okay farm, I suppose, for how many kills and assists he has. So, hasn't been farming, has just been farming champions. So, that's the way to do it, really.
Shiv. I mean, Static Shiv. It is the minion killing item, the preeminent minion killing item. I miss Ionic Spark. I'm tired. I'm tired of not admitting this. I miss Ionic Spark.
If I knew what that was, I would agree with you.
Static Shiv before Static Shiv.
You see, I started playing season. When was it? Season 5. So.
Holy crap! I've been playing since season 2, and I'm silver, and you're dying.
Well, I come from traditional sports. I'm a little more competitive when it comes to anything. So, I really try hard. So, I do it. The thing is, for me anyway, it's hard to have fun in this game sometimes. I've been doing it recently with some of my buddies, because I just take it too seriously. So.
Fight
Yeah.
happening in the top lane here. Lots of poke going down. One thing we want to mention here is that Team What does have a significant amount of poke that they can put out in a turret siege situation. I wouldn't necessarily call this a siege comp because they're really not that good at taking down towers.
Oh, absolutely
They're
not.
really good at poking around towers.
Right. And even if Team What, Nundrel, if he hooks a tank, they could just get a chunk off on them, as the CN actually might be a little caught here. Gnar is not available anymore. He's a mini. Double Rupture here coming up. Clockolot is taking a lot of damage. Is going to actually flash away instead of clicking the lantern. Oh my goodness, that is the most tilting thing you can do to your support.
Come on, League of Legends Twitter just had a PSA about this today. About clicking the Thresh lantern. So.
Oh, here we go. Don't Die in Vain. A 3-man Rupture. Nicely done, but no follow-up from the Yasuo. It could have been a nice engage. That is what we're going to have to look for here. The Cream team is going to want to fight here. If Oracle can get another 3-man Rupture into a Last Breath, into a Hero's Entrance, into all the ricocheting and Boomerang Blade and everything, it might just be enough for them to come back into this, but fortunately not. They're just going to back with their Baron, not get too much of an advantage, just about a 5,000 gold lead, which is still pretty hefty, but no turrets have been taken inside the base. The base of the Cream Team has not been cracked, which is one of the most pivotal moments in the game. So that is really good for themselves if they want to get back.
And thanks to that massive minion wave that built up in the bot lane, the final outer tower did in fact fall. So that's now 3 turrets that Team Cream has. They are falling behind. They're about 4,500 gold behind right now. As Discord is screaming at me. But nothing they couldn't really come back from. I think even 1 or 2 decisive team fights could put them right back on equal footing with Team What here.
Right, and then Nundrel is going to be ruptured. Slud from the Silence is just going to say, how do you do? And not even take any damage. Is I believe the face of the mountain shield. There's Clock-a-Lot, might just look for it. Sir Potato is going into the mid lane. Nothing's going to happen yet. Cian is still in the top lane split pushing. He has TP and the hero's entrance available. He is level 16, so he does have that giant range. His Sivir is actually going to take a tremendous amount of damage from the Pillar of Flame alone. Hook is just barely going to tickle him. Here we go. Gen, remember, is now in the top lane, so if the Cream Team does engage this, Sir Potato is very low, and TP is a 4-second channel. Oof. And see Jin's 4th shot crit is doing about 1,100 damage at this point in time.
Hey, look at that!
he
Don't
did
Die in Vain actually got Lord Doms and QS.
Oh, but here we go. A fool is going to go down. Sir Potato is going to get flashed on by Summoner Shen. Finally, playing with his balls out. And Nundrel is going to get ruptured and silenced. Jan can't use the Gnar because he is silenced. Cian goes in, gets the taunt. Onto nobody, actually. Finally pops it. Gargoyle Storm play a 2-man Gnar into the wall, but there's no follow-up. Summoner Shen gets hit with a Deadly Flourish. The Flay is going to land. The slow is coming. Nice wind wall to stop it. And Nundrel might be a little too far forward here. He is going to go down the last breath onto Don't Die, It's Vain. But it's QSS and run away. Oracle is going to flash Nom. No, he doesn't flash. He just noms. And now a huge advantage for the Cream Team is a 1-for-3 trade.
That's very, very important. They can now pick up the Elder Drake with only 1 dragon on them. It's going to be very easy to take down, but because that is an Infernal Drake, it's going to give them a lot of combat stats on top of the burn that Elder Drake gives. This is very, very important that they get. Jan is the only one here. I don't think he would be able to
Boomerang snipe. Boomerang snipe. Boomerang snipe. Oh! That was actually pretty close.
Yeah, that was. Unfortunately, Oracle has better smite timings than Clock-a-Lot did earlier.
Oh,
I'm not saying that Clock-a-Lot in general has bad smite, particularly in that Baron.
That's a very nice way of saying it. Is yeah, Jan did happen to steal the Baron from Clock-a-Lot, so wouldn't be surprised if he stole the Elder there. That would have been something. And the name of the game right now is just back and forth and back and forth. The gold lead is now basically dwindled down to 1,000. It's just non-existent, really. For this late in the game, 40 minutes, builds are starting to come to a close. The only one who has really hit that full build mark is, of course, Don't Die in Vain.
Oh, well, Mercurial Scimitar.
Yep.
Called it.
Well, he did build Lord Dominic's. He did build Lord Dominic's first, so I did have to. I was right in that.
Kind of called
so, but you did call it as well. We both called it, so we were both right. None of us were wrong, but so one thing to note in this next team fight, one of the biggest things I have to say is Oracle has Flash, Don't Die in Vain does not. So we'll have to see how this goes because right now, you cannot outsmite a Cho'Gath if he wants to flash, consume smite, or anything. As Clock-a-Lot actually takes a huge amount of damage from the crits. Here comes Armor, and the rest of the team. Summoner Shen is not going to be able to take him down. Here comes Oracle in the backline. He's going to be hooked up, but here comes Jan. He's not going to be able to get a nom. Finally gets the 3-man into the wall. Oracle has not been able to nom anyone. Just barely misses. Is still alive somehow. Jan goes down. Nundrel is going to be next. Cian takes him down with the Winds of War, and the crits are doing so much. Don't Die in Vain is the only one left alive for Team What? And is he going to 4-shot and live, actually? Just barely the burn. Is it going to take him down? I don't know, but Summoner Shen might just be able to. Here comes the trap, but Don't Die in Vain is quit. He healed for so much. He's going to take it down. Don't Die in Vain is pulling out an incredible double lift moment. The curtain call is going to miss, but now here comes a Cian. And oh my word, Don't Die in Vain is doing tremendous work for his team. He might just die here. Oracle is actually going to flash. Asian is going to miss. The taunt is going to miss as well. Don't die in vain. Might just be able to 1v5 this entire fight. The Deadly Flourish is going to land. Finally, Asian is taking so much damage. The charge is going to miss. Asian, here comes Karma. It actually saves him. Oracle is here as well. And oh my god. Oh, but here he comes! Don't die! Still going! Here he comes! The Rupture is gonna land! The crit does so much! The red buff is there! Where did that slow come from? I don't even know! But here he comes! He's trying to crit! He has so much damage! Asian, you wasted the 4th shot! Here comes the Deadly Flourish! The auto attack is there! Here comes the red buff! Armor is finally back! And it's over! It's finally over! It's not even the game, it's just a team fight, but that took about a minute and a half! Holy shit!
I wasn't gonna say it, but that works, I suppose.
Woo!
And with the bag skin, of course. I mean, what other skin would you be using to go off like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whew. Oh.
I need a drink of water after that. Yeah, but they're not. Warlord's late game is just so good.
It's definitely not bad. Jaful, doesn't throw the Pyroclasm actually. Might have been able to go down, but we get a pause. There's a little bit of a respite for us, really, more than them. That was crazy. Don't die in vain. Living up to his name, only has 1 death. It's not really in vain. He didn't even die in vain last fight. He just popped off, and I can't wait to see the damage charts because this Jhin has just been popping off. I don't know if this guy is actually Gold 5, but yeah.
Wow, that was, yeah, he's doing tremendously well on this Jhin, despite the fact that he has been flame horizoned by armor. He's doing really well. The Warlords combined with the tiny amount of lifesteal, I believe it's only 10%. Yeah, 10% lifesteal from Mercurial Scimitar. It's able to heal him from about 300 up to full in 2 auto attacks. Whew. Just imagine if he had been on like Tristana or someone with a lot of mobility.
Yeah, that would be.
Holy crap.
That would be something.
Yeah, 45 minutes into the first game here. Score is 18-16. Only about 2,000 gold in favor of Team What. They managed to hold at least a marginal lead throughout the entirety of this game. Even when the momentum was against them, they managed to hold on to that. I want to point out Asim, the top laner, playing Galio, 14 creed. He has not died once.
That is insane.
He is basically putting this team on his back and carrying. I would not be surprised if he's going to build a Gargoyle Stone Plate next. He already has a frozen gauntlet.
Right.
Frozen fist.
The Sheen helps a lot with his damage.
Gauntlet. Yes, Iceborne Gauntlet is the name of it. He's doing really well, doing work in this game. Summoner Shen also starting to pop off pretty heavily. He's going to be picking up most likely a Bloodthirster next, or possibly a QSS. It's entirely possible with the stuns and roots and even the 99% slow from a neutral. It's entirely possible that it could be a QSS for both Shen and Armor for this last item.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see what happens here as both teams are just content to say screw farming. Oh my gosh. And go straight into team fighting for this last little stretch here. Oracle is getting extremely tanky. Ooh, might have been a really nice last breath, but Karma had just backed, unfortunately.
I wanna say here, Oracle has just under 5,000 health without Stone Plate.
Right.
So if he manages to activate Stone Plate in a team fight, he will get to 10,000 health, and with that happening, he will get about, let's see here, we got 650 plus 323 plus an additional 305. It will be about 1,000 true damage to anyone that he nods if he stone plates correctly.
Here we go. Sheehan is going to be hooked in and flashed, or flayed rather. The taunt is going to land. Sir Potato actually takes him down already. Here comes Oracle. He's gonna numb. Don't Die in Vain is already down. Here comes the two-man Yasuo ult. He's gonna shred their armor. Sir Potato is gonna flash away, but it doesn't matter. Summoner Shen does the same. The explosive cask finally comes out extremely late. Summoner Shen is on the chase. Is gonna finally land the last Q, a double kill, and now here comes the cream team. It's gonna. Oh, I'm not gonna say that sentence, but here they come running down mid lane. Might just be able to take the game here, or at least an inhib.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very good fight from him, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Oracle just walked right into the middle of them, popped Righteous Glory, popped Stone Plate, 10,000 health, and literally 85-0. Don't Die in Vain. Just
85, not 100.
Well,
What
it
is
wasn't 100
Jaful
because
doing?
he had gotten hit by something once earlier.
Right.
But, you know.
And Sir Potato actually took down Armor in the backside of the fight. I was just so shocked I wasn't able to cast the first part of that fight because it was off screen. Just somehow just completely annihilated Armor, both summoner spells being up. I guess an EQ or maybe a Q flash E, which is one of the mechanics on brand, which is something really impressive if he did do. His flash was just getting off cooldown, so maybe? Or no, he actually flashed away from Yasuo, so I'm not sure how he took down Armor, but hats off to him for taking out the Sivir, who is extremely well farmed and now has a full build, so I'll have to see his...
Now, I wanna apologize here, is that I completely forgot that BF Sword builds into Guardian Angel, so that's almost certainly going to be a Guardian Angel for the Yasuo in the mid lane. There was a Guardian Angel picked up here by...
Don't Die in Vain. He actually sold boots,
Tabis.
right?
Yeah, he sold Tabis, which aren't really going to be helping him too much anyway.
Right.
At this stage in the game, he sold his boots. That means that he's completely relying on his crit speed to give him movement speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will give him a lot.
I mean, he does have a quite a tremendous amount of crit chances. Yasuo also went for the Guardian Angel, so if you had to give it to late game Jhin or late game Sivir Yasuo Cho'Gath, I give it to Sivir Yasuo Cho'Gath 10 out of 10 every day of the week.
Yeah, he does have at this point 729 attack damage. And also 80% crit chance when not on fourth shot. So he does have a lot of movement speed as long as he stays in combat. And assuming he can keep up that legendary positioning that he's had so far throughout most of the game, except in that last team fight where Oracle was able... Ooh, nice flash. Very, very nice flash by Oracle there. Immediate reaction to seeing the brand.
Unfortunate, though, that he positioned himself to burn that summoner spell. Now, not going to be able to flash Nam or make any kind of flash plays, which is kind of unfortunate. But last fight, he didn't even need to flash. The Righteous Glory was just enough. It was such a chaotic cluster of a team fight that he was able to just walk in. I'm not sure what Don't Die in Vain was doing, or Nundrel not peeling, so it is interesting. But 1900 crit on that fourth shot.
It's gonna be a bloodbath, assuming that Don't Die in Vain gets anything
Jaful
close.
actually might be getting caught here. The Deadly Flourish is gonna land, and all the damage there. Don't Die in Vain finally takes down Jaful. And Baron is up in 5 seconds.
That's important. That's very important, Jaful being down there.
And Asian channeled his TP. He is going to have to back here and walk to try and get a hero's entrance. Jaful hasn't been doing too much in these team fights, if I'm going to be honest. So they might just be able to 4v5 anyway. Sir Potato is taking quite a bit of damage. Lantern goes out. Clock-a-lot is going to have a free smite at about 300 health. And Red Team are just content to give it up as we get into the 50-minute mark into this game.
Only 2,000 gold between these teams. Not even 2,000 gold between these teams.
But at 80,000, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The gold difference is not real. Everyone has full build except for the supports, and it's just going to come down to that one big last team fight.
Now, what Team What really needs to do here is not have Jan get caught by Summoner Shen, first off, which he does not. They need to start posturing around this bot side of the map. They need to take control of this dragon area and pick up this Elder Drake. With Baron buff, they can push in all the minion wave, but they need to make sure they pick this up.
Absolutely.
Because that will close out the game immediately. But if they do not pick it up, if it fizzles, if no one takes it, or if somehow Team Cream is able to gain control here and pick it up themselves, it could be disastrous because the longer this game goes on, the more chances Team What has to throw, to make a mistake, and allow Team Cream to crack open their base.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, that cracking open their base is exactly what Team What have been lacking. They can't crack it. I believe this is this their third Baron, I want to say. Not being able to take any advantages for themselves. And here we go. The Cream team is going to be starting up the Baron. Curtain Call comes out, and Pyroclasm Flash, a huge knockup, but a 4-man knockup! Here comes the last breath! Clockalot is taking so much damage, Sir Potato already goes down to armor, but here comes the rest of the team fight. Hyamjan is trying to get the Gnar but here comes a bunch of flashes, nobody's dead yet! Clockalot is somehow alive! Hyamjan has finally got Gnar, but it doesn't matter, he's trying to run away, he turns back, but he dies before he can even Gnar! Don't Die in Vain has the GA, what are you doing? Focus the Jhin, but Anundral goes down, Jhin is still alive!
Can he pop off again, though, is the question against 2 GAs. Racina's on a much higher health now. He's going to need to play this very, very carefully. Summoner Shen is his main problem here.
They are just going to go off to... Looks like they're just going to... Yep. Just going to go for the Elder Dragon. Little...
Now, Clockalot is alive. If he wants to Suicide Steal this, it would be worth it to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe they still have some Baron left on Heights Van. He does have Rapid Fire Shot. Oh, but he doesn't use it in time, and the Nom is going to come out from Oracle. And they're gonna get their second Elder Dragon buff of the game. Only an Infernal, but it is an Infernal.
Yeah. This is now, for the first time in the entire game, even though the golden doesn't matter, Team Cream is ahead in gold now. Even though it doesn't matter anymore, they are ahead. They are ahead in kills for the first time in the game as well.
Right.
Now, how do they use this? What do they push down? They have not been able to take a tower in 30 minutes.
So the one thing that they've excelled at is team fighting. Team fight, team fight, team fight. It's always been the Cream team. Objectives and early game advantages have gone to the side of Team What. But if the Cream team just runs at you, all they have to literally do is pop R on Sivir, pop Righteous Glory, Mantra E, somebody dies to Cho'Gath. It doesn't matter who, but somebody is dead. Somebody will die.
What I want to say there, okay, Galio is again frozen, so we're going to get our 6th pause of this 53-minute game. So in addition to the 53 minutes in-game, we've had 8 minutes of out-of-game time devoted to pauses. And what this gives me time to talk about what happened in that last team fight. Now, what really surprised me there is the positioning of the tanks, of Jan and Clockalot in that fight. Is that what ended up happening is that Don't Die in Vain ended up in the middle of the enemy team. Like, yes, they did then not turn on him and he managed to get away, but that's immaterial to the point, is that up until that point, Don't Die in Vain had complete control over the team fight from his artillery line in the backside of the team.
Right.
But if his team had been willing to stay at the front, Anudril, hi, it's Jan, Clockalot, you guys gotta stay in front of him, even if it means your lives, because if you can take out at least 2 of the people, Jaful again getting caught.
He's getting engaged. Body Slam is actually going to connect. Is the explosive cast there? Yes, it is, but it was just way too late. Really, really hesitant there by Clockalot. And now an engaged tool on the side of Team What might just cost them a little too much here. Oracle is here. The Sivir ult is popped. Here comes Righteous Glory. Sir Potato is right there. Nub does so much damage. And there he goes. He's gone. Armor takes him down. Clockalot is taking so much damage as well. Rupture is going to catch him. And Asian is Godlight. The Flash Silence doesn't find anyone. The Rupture misses as well. But now it's a 5v2. And the Cream team can just go right up the mid lane.
Now, that was a terrible, terrible fight here. Gnar is still alive, so it's actually 3v5. But Jan is still enough of a tank that if he gets a good Gnar ult off, his bar is building rather rapidly. If he can get a good Gnar off, I believe that Don't Die in Vain could still tank through all of this. They are going to need to get out this tower. There is going to be just a wind wall to block this. I don't know why he bothered to throw out the curtain call there. But that does mean that the curtain call that the wind wall is down here. So
Here we go.
again,
Scene is going to
Nar
knock up
needs to
Highest
go-
Gen. Highest Gen is silenced and taunted. Where's the Gnar? He actually goes too far. A 4-man Gnar back into the turret, but it doesn't matter. He's going to go down. Armor is on a rampage. Oracle knocks him up. Here comes the last breath. He's going to QSS away. Don't Die in Vain is just barely alive. Here comes the hero's entrance to stop any incoming damage, but it doesn't matter. A Nundrill is down as well. 2v5. No, 1v5. Don't Die in Vain. Can he do it again? I don't think so. This might just be the game here for the Cream team.
Probably. This is huge. This is just,
Sir Potato and Clockalot are up. It is a 3v5.
this is
Oh, here we go. Armor taking way too much damage. Jeez, actually popped. Deadly Flourish is not going to land. The wind wall blocks it. But now, no GA. Here comes the Pyroclasm. Finally, doing a lot of AoE. There comes the 2-man body slam. Oracle is going to be knocked back by the explosive cast. Summoner Shen is going straight into Sir Potato, but Sir Potato takes down Oracle. Asin is keeping alive. He hasn't died this entire game, but Summoner Shen finally gets his GA pop. Jaful is not going to die. He auto-attacks the minion with the force shot. Here he comes. Summoner Shen. Will he be able to 2v1 this? Yes, he will. And he takes them down. Don't Die in Vain. Where are you going, man? Windwall is going to be able to take him down, but Warlord's heal is so much. The force shot is not enough. A triple kill for Sir Shen. And that is the ace for the Cream team. Woo!
wow. Holy crap. That was amazing. Highest Gen is up, but I do not believe
No,
he
end the
could
game.
he could probably actually stall this out.
I don't
Because
know.
now
Summoner
Anuka's
Shen
out as well.
has a lot of healing, is turning onto a Nundrill. The box is laid down. Here comes a hero's entrance. Is going to land on the Highest Gen, but he's going to Gnar them back. But they just have so much damage to finally cut him down. Here it comes. Are they going to go to the turret? Yes, they are. Hopefully they can finally finish. All the pings are on the turret. Now onto the Nexus. Here we go. Is it enough? There's nobody up for a long time. Last breath is going to go onto a Nundrill. A Nundrill is down. Summoner Shen is dominating. Highest Gen is just running away like the little cute Yordle he is. Summoner Shen is just chasing for the kills. Finish the damn game, man! And it's finally going to go down. The Cream team is going to go 1-0 so far in this best of 2 series.
I don't even know if the players are going to be able to play another game after that. That was just so immensely draining, even on us. I cannot imagine how it was like for the players, but absolutely demoralizing defeat for what? And a pull out of the jaws of defeat victory for Team Cream to be able to come back from just this constant like setback after setback and still be able to stay on focus, do not tilt, and off the back of amazing play by both Asin and Summoner Shen being able to pull out this win. It's
Exactly that. We are going to take a short break before we get into our second game of the series. Remember, it is only a best of 2. My name is Smurfo Doom. Alongside me, the one, the only, amazing, illustrious, magnificent, and splendiferous can opener dude. We shall be right back.